Welcome to Pecan Creek Farm again today. Me and Chance are here rebuilding the front end of one of our farm trucks. This is the 6.4 Ford F350, and we are currently putting in new axle shaft seals, new U-joints. We actually had a U-joint collapse and break. This one here, put new U-joints in it. We put new sway arm bushings, new sway arm links, new drag link. We're putting all new seals in for the four-wheel drive parts. The lockers. Chance is installing the ABS wheel speed sensor currently. And we had to pull the whole front end apart, both drive lines out of the front end, both sides. Brake pads were bad too. We had to have the rotors turned. Right now we got to put the snap rings and stuff back in, then put the lockers back in. It's been a job. That's the sway bar links if you don't know what they are. That's the sway bar, and those are the bushings we changed. We did the same to both sides. It's been an absolute chore. Plus here in Oklahoma it's been 100 the last couple of days. So, and it's September. But Chance is running in the ABS wheel speed sensor now. And then we got to put a snap ring back in here. Get that all locked back in. We actually put the dust seals in the shafts back there, which a lot of guys say don't worry about it, don't do it. It's not worth it. Stop, don't do it. I had them already bought a while back, and we figured what the heck, let's go ahead and do it. Despite what they say, worst case scenario is they don't work. They just break anyway. They were broke already, so it doesn't really matter. But it's been a job. Parts have been just like everywhere else, just terrible to get. We'd look for getting all the ones for this. Yeah, so it's just those four. But Chance is about to bolt it back up, bolt the hub assembly back up. That's actually where the wheel bearing is. The hub wheel bearing right here. Got the heat shield, rock shield, and ABS wheel speed sensor. And then here's your four-wheel drive, 2 gear pulleys. You got, I mean, not pulleys, I'm sorry, but gears for this is for the lockers. The inside's for the shaft to turn it to lock the hub to the shaft. So that when you lock it in, this is spinning, locks it to this, makes it four-wheel drive. That's what this mechanism here is, if you guys have never seen one. It's the actual locker itself. This one on this side was actually stuck and it wouldn't work. I couldn't get it to engage. And also I think my automatic four-wheel drive is broken. On the transmission, I think that shifter module that's mounted on the side of the transfer case, the transmission is not functioning correctly, so I can't auto do it in the cab anymore. Not a big deal. I don't really hardly ever use the four-wheel drive anyway. Especially this year, there's 0 rain, so what would I get stuck at? But this side's almost completed. We've already redone this entire side. We got to put new brake pads still in it. We got those. And then Chance wants to make sure these are all torqued correctly. Aside from that, we did this side first. We didn't record the disassembly because so many people have already done this job. And there's plenty of videos online about it. We just did it to show the people who watch our channel. This is kind of the grind we go through with our farm equipment, our trucks and our trailers and all the stuff we do to keep our equipment rolling for hay season. And this is how we sell our product. We haul them with these trucks, and they get a lot of work. I mean, these trucks get the crap beat out of them. I do need to change the tie rod ends at some point. They still are greased and still work, and there's no slack in them. Upper and lower on this side, on the other side as well. But it's really no big deal. We'll get to those. They still work just fine. Maybe this winter when I shut the truck down, I'll put it in the alignment shop and go to Ford and order the ends. I only buy the Ford parts. This truck has 300,000 miles on it. It's made it that long. And for the $20 or $30 difference it is for the precision Moog, whatever you want to buy, versus the factory Ford parts that came on the truck. It's still available. This chassis is still made. Even the trucks have the same style chassis underneath them. It's really built on the same frame. So the parts are still readily available. Of course, you have to order everything, but they are available. We were going to change the big seals. There I have one, if you can see it. It goes inside that hub assembly, but ours were perfectly fine and couldn't find anything wrong with them. So we thought, why go through all the extra work and do it when ours were perfectly fine? We couldn't see anything wrong with them at all. So we're gonna go ahead and get it done. Maybe a later project will show front end being all served. We'll get the upper and lower tie rod ends done. This one on that side as well. It's all I've got left really on the front end. The drag brought the bar from the Pitman arm, but it was all still really in good shape. So chance is going to work. We're trying to get it all hammered out to be done today. It's 100 degrees today, 103 the heat index. It's been terrible. Anyway, just a quick video, nothing major, nothing fancy. Just another day here on the farm, putting crap together and tearing stuff apart. I'll get a little video of it when it's done. We'll take it on test drive. Here's that seal, in case anyone wants to see it. That's the updated seal. Most guys in those axle tubes don't even worry about it because there's another seal on the inside, and it doesn't leak anyway. So we took the liberty of cleaning. We completely wheeled down our entire bars, took all the rust off of them, cleaned them down to the bare shiny metal, and got them back to original. I don't want to do this job again personally. It's very hard, time consuming as well, but we're just about done. We're waiting on the other side. It's in the sun and we're on the shady side right now, so we're going to finish this side up and then go to the other side. I'll grab a little video here and there, maybe get the wheels all put back on it, take it on a test spin. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Okay, just a quick little update. It's been about 15-20 minutes. We've got the rotors on, hub assembly back bolted together, torqued down. Got the nuts, the brand new butt. We got all new Ford nuts and bolts in the kit. We bought the entire seal kits from Ford, in case you need that number. That was the seal kit for the lockers. And chances putting on the brand new brake pads. Our front end guy was adamant that we change those ASAP. And once we got them off, there was maybe a 30 seconds of pad left. It was very thin. It was real low. I mean, we were down to, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch or less. It was pretty low. So we had to turn the rotors, got those all turned. Our local alignment shop did that for us. They do brakes too. And then, like I said earlier, we did all the front end alignment parts. We still, again, I know if someone points it out, we know these are rotted or busted. They're still greasy. They still work fine. The alignment's still dialed in at 0. I mean, it's dead on. So this winter, and I get a chance to shut it down, like I said, we'll work on those too. But Chance's got all the brake pads on. Yeah, that screen back there was bent. Yeah, it's probably rubbing it a little. I had to bend all the fins out. Yeah, right there. It's all right, it'll go away. Somehow a rock or something got back here and actually in here and bent a bunch of the, there's like a cage back there and pushed a bunch of the cage pins back. We go down quite a few dirt roads, so that happens pretty frequently. This side's ready for the tire, and then we're gonna move on to the other side, which is in the blistering 100-degree sun, and we are not looking forward to it. You say, why don't you just turn it around, put the shade on the other side? We can't. We want to, but we can't. I might try to park some other and at least block the sun off of us. We've got an apparatus set up here. We're just using to block it. Anyways, moving on. Okay, now we're on the driver's side.
Did you already get that baling wire out?
Yep, took it off already. Chance is going to run the calipers in. We've got the, we own the tool that runs these in. These rotors have been turned as well. This is all been assembled, new Ford parts, new bolts. Everything on here is Ford. Nothing on here is aftermarket. Even the sway bar links and the bushings. At the end of the day, it only costs 40 bucks more. That stuff, it's a perfect fit, and it laid 300,000 miles, so I figured go back with it. Chances running the calipers in. We do a ton of brakes here anyway. It's pretty common for us to do anyways. Got the fan running, sorry. Hot out here, and we're on the sunny side, and it's a blistery 99. The heat index of 103 for your Tuesday, September, Oklahoma. Wonderful. And we're still in a drought. We got a week of rain. It's all gone. It's all dead. All dry again. It'll come back out. It'll come back out. Oh, don't worry about it. As soon as we pump the brakes, it'll come back out. Yeah, had it wired up to the spring while we were working on everything, had everything wired out of the way. Since we're doing the brakes now, we've separated it so we can mount the hardware back on and then put the brake caliper on last. We actually replaced all these calipers in my truck last year, all 4 of them. Burned them all up. Just the amount of weight stuff we do and haul. So I kind of messed them all up. But anyway, just a little quick update. This side we'll put the brakes back on. This side over here is all buttoned up. It's completely finished. Everything's good to go here. We're all said and done. So anyway, we'll come back with you at the end. Okay, we're done with one Ford F350. We have gotten the pulled both front shafts, axle shafts, put all new end seals, new inner seals, vacuum seals in the hubs, re-cleaned and greased the hubs and the lockers, new rotors, and brake pads. The truck was 300,000 miles is due, like we said earlier in the video. So we got it done, took it on the test drive, had a horrible clattering. The whole reason we tore it apart was the U-joint on the passenger side was bad. So we have got it completely reassembled. Took it on a test run, it works just fine. So now we're on to the next 350, which we did brakes on Monday. We didn't record any of that, plenty of videos on that out there. And now we have to change the frame bushing isolators. That's these. Ours are crushed and decayed. There's a part number. Wow, look at that. And there's the old one. Here's one of the old ones. Here's the new one, Chance. Yeah.
Easy peasy, man.
And there's the old one. It's all crushed and broken. And the other one is actually completely rotten. It's literally just goes up in there. They're on each side. This one over here is completely rotten. You probably can't see it. That's right there. But it's completely rotten. He said they go in a little harder when they come out.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. There's much in there.
Yeah, we're gonna change these real fast and then we're gonna call it a day. My nephew bought a Ford F350, a red one, and we bought it, and the gentleman who we bought it from, I wasn't there at the time, not that that changes anything. When they went to go get it, my brother-in-law and my nephew Xander, who works for us, 6-liter truck, 2006. Talked up all the goodies on it, told him how great it was, gave him the spiel, brought it home, and I'd mentioned it had a weird lope to it, and they said it had an injector out, which I was like, okay, sounds logical, that's all right. I didn't know. Based it off what I was listening to. Took it to our friend who's a Ford diesel mechanic, Keen, who I've mentioned before. He ran a diagnostics test on it, did a cylinder test on it, on the contribution on the cylinders, and the number 6 cylinder was at like 30%. So either had cracked rings, hole in the piston, and the blow-by was insane. I forgot to tell them to look for the blow-by. It didn't cross my mind. I don't know why when they went to go look at it. So, do we need some like grease or something on it, Chance?
No, it's not really a problem.
So when they went to go get it, drove it home, everything was fine. And then when we had it tested, had a bad engine. Keen, our mechanic said just get an engine. So we found one here locally at a good used engine, had 150,000 miles on it out of a truck that had burned. The engine was fine. A couple of the little harnesses on the injectors were burned, but we had a good engine to swap with. And he was too booked to get to it, so we took it to another friend of ours named Sammy, who has a garage down the road from us. And he does 6.0 swaps and stuff all the time. He has a body lift and all that. We probably could have tried to get it done here, but we don't have a body lift here. It's just too much work on us. We've lifted these cabs in other videos and changed the downpipes and everything else, but that's a whole different animal. So Sammy did it for us. They got it done yesterday. They're going to go pick it up today and bring it over here this evening around 7-ish, 7:30. And then we're going to do some work on it. And these rear calipers, or I don't know about calipers. I'm sorry, not calipers, rear rotors. At least turned, if not replaced. And then brake pads. Says water and fuel, so we need to drain the separator. We did put new water fuel filters in it. And then it needs some various other little things. AC needs worked on, probably needs a compressor change, so we'll change the compressor in it, suck it down and fill it back up.
Here for your next one.
Did you already get the other one on?
Yeah.
Okay. And hang on, yeah, remember I said that earlier.
Yeah.
He said you have to kind of twist lock them. That's the other isolator. And what those do, especially when we're hauling heavy, is if you've got a weight on the bed of the truck and it shoves the front wheels down like this, or if you're going through any off-roading and the front wheels go down like that on the suspension, it keeps the frame from bottoming out against metal. They're kind of crushers or stoppers. That
This one, the side piece that needs jacked up a little bit or something, like we're on a hill or...
That wheel, you mean jack it up?
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Anyway, that's a quick run, Cat. We'll get these done. That'll probably be all for this video, and then we'll do a little video on my nephew's truck. Thanks. Keep watching. Appreciate it. Subscribe and like. We're doing better. The counts are going up, but we're trying to keep it going. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
So what happened here is we reassembled all this and got it all done, completed, drove, dry spine. There's nothing wrong. We forgot to put one of these backing seals in that goes to the big seal in the back. And it just was laying down on the bench and we didn't see it.
I have a deep plug at 21.
On the end of the impact. Forgot to put this on it. It's some kind of, I'm sure it's a rock seal, dust seal of some sort for the back, so that rocks and debris don't get between the seal and the. It's on the other side, and we didn't put it back on. So now we're gonna have to disassemble this side again completely. I mean, we're pros at it now. And knock the seal back out.
It's gonna be great.
Already Loctited everything. Had it all back together like it's supposed to be. You have the 21 shallow?
Huh?
You have that 21 shallow out there?
Yes, I do.
So, here we go again. For your knees. This truck over here is the 6.0 truck that I spoke about yesterday.
Got some baling wire.
Baling wire, he says. Baling wire, he says. This is the truck I spoke about yesterday. This is my nephew's 06 6-liter. And the guy that sold it to my brother-in-law and my nephew lied to him. It had a dead cylinder in it. Story was, if you didn't catch it, they saw it on Facebook, went up, bought it, test drove it. The guy gave him the good speech about how great it was and what he's done to it. Turns out he's got such a hot tune on it, he basically cooked part of the engine. So we had to get it home, discover the problem, and as lovely as that was, then had to figure out what the problem was, took it to Keen, our mechanic, and there's the old engine. Not to mention it had a massive oil leak on it. It does have 290,000 miles on it, but that's the old one. It's got a Bass number 6 cylinder. And of course in here, I won't pop the hood yet or anything, but we've got the new engine in it. It's a salvaged engine. It only had 150,000 on it. I said that in the other video. It came out of a truck that had been on fire. It was a burned truck, but anyway, he's got all the sinister diesel stuff on it. And it's got a program on it. It's the guy basically overtuned it, burned up the engine on it, hot rodding it around, doing stupid stuff. But we got it swapped. Got another engine, runs great. So we'll be working on that later. Technically, we were going to pull this in. What was cool this morning, the brakes on it all the way around are completely shot. I mean, the guy was just a big liar. He just wanted to sell the truck. He said what he had to say to sell it to some people who weren't exactly up on their knowledge on it. I was unable to go. I probably would have caught it either, technically, but you never know.
The thing we've learned is if you're ever going to buy one of these trucks, make sure that you pull the oil cap, the oil fill cap.
Yeah, check for blow-by.
Check for that blow-by.
I forgot to tell him that. This didn't cross my mind. And
that'll just be a dead giveaway.
yeah, and we just didn't do it. So it is what it is. I mean, we make mistakes too. We're pulling this truck apart again. We just did yesterday, just the side, because we make mistakes too. I just happened to see it laying up here on the workbench.
Well, glad you caught it.
I don't know. I'm not kind of glad. Wish I was throwing it away and said nothing. I hate doing a job twice.
Tense job.
It's not just that. This is a really, really arduous, tedious job.
Okay, ready for the rotor and everything.
You just use a hammer, you just cover it up. I'll put the rotor up somewhere. I used to have the ground over it. It won't hurt it.
Okay. Oh, need the Allens. Need the old Allens. At least we didn't put all the tools up yet.
Yeah, at least our laziness paid off.
Man,
That was on there.
It was work on those things. I was treated like I'm inspecting our work.
Is that what it is? You're just not making it better. Just a stupid mistake.
It is.
It really is just dumb. But again, you and I neither want to do these jobs every day like this. So
I just wanted more practice.
is that what it was? I don't want it. It's nice and cool. This morning I was gonna have us fix the baler and change his brakes real quick and have Alan run the rotors down, get them turned.
This won't take very long. I mean, look, we're already almost to the pulling the shaft out.
I don't really like your chipper attitude. Just don't want to damage that inner seal we changed either.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't damage it. Surely not. What size was this again? 5? Yep.
Well, you know, nothing like a job done twice.
Yep. Okay, little screwdriver. Pop that out again. Still got grease on it, so I'm sure this will come out easily. Boom. Okay. Need to go ahead and pull this off, pull that snap ring off. Can I have the snap ring pliers?
Take a little screwdriver and pry out on it gently.
Yes.
Kind of pull and pry at the same time.
Try not to hurt that gasket.
Oh, I don't think that's the least of our worries.
Here it comes. There's that.
Good thing we have another set of O-ring seals.
Okay, snap ring.
And I'm sure it's real hard to find because I gooped it full of grease.
That's your flashlight.
I
Tried
feel
that flashlight taser. I had it charging all night.
nothing.
Barely got the light.
You find a charger for it?
Yeah. Barely got the light to come on, but it's pretty much nothing. I
Trash it then.
had to throw it away.
As I wipe it all out, we can put more grease in it.
Just need at least enough to get the snap ring. Where is it? Hello. You're on camera.
That's all right.
Oh, I'm staring at it right there. There's one hole.
Stick the rag back in there and wipe it around.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Those are Matco snap ring pliers, and they're really good. They work really well. I have a nice pair, but mine won't fit in there. Mine has some kind of spring flip neck on it where you can just slip one side to the other, and it is totally in the way. I'm sure it's nice and greasy.
Yeah. It is.
I saw a pair yesterday. A guy had a pair of Knipex that had the they locked as you opened it. They click, 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 and locked, and that way you could pull it out without having to squeeze at the same time.
That'd be awesome.
Knipex or Knipex, however you want to say it. Dude, wipe it out so you can see. Just take it, paper towel back there, and or stick the screwdriver in if you can't reach. Wipe that crap out. We can put more grease in it.
Have to. For sure.
Wipe your plier tips off. Hang on, let me get you a fresh paper towel. The less greasy they are, the better they'll grip it. have to fast forward through this part.
Yep.
I'll just pause. All right, the snap ring's off. I had to pull the wheel bearing assembly. Chances are to remove the ABS speed module. So what actually happened here is on the back of this, there's a seal on the back side of it. And then on the back side, it's supposed to be this retainer ring. And we forgot to put it back in.
All right. So
Wipe all that grease off.
have another nap.
Yeah, and then I brought the pry bars.
I was wondering if I'll be able to pull it out this time around or not.
It should be pretty slick.
Well, I might be able to pull this out.
Because I am sick and tired of walking in there. Nah, it's going to be fried out. Yeah, you're going to fry it. This way.
Now the question is, do we need a big pry bar?
I'm going to try not to.
So,
Ready? Be pulling off fry. Yeah, it's coming. Good job. Wow. Is that seal actually torn? Yeah, it is. That seal's actually no good anyway. It's torn loose. So that's why my auto lockers don't work.
we have one of those, don't we?
Not like that. This is the update. Okay. Well, let's pull that out and yeah, lay it on the bench. I wonder if the other one's torn.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Well, I'm gonna say if one's bad, they're probably both bad. Okay, Ford's part trip number 3 or 4 or 5 or 7. Put all new O-rings on here. Chance has the new seal here. It's not ripped and torn like our other one was. Now we're gonna reinstall it. For the second time, third time we've done this, but the second time, because we didn't know that those seals were bad and didn't know what to look for. So now we do, and now we know they're bad. So live and learn. We are not professional anything. We're professional amateurs. And so Chance is gonna reinstall the axle shaft again. We have replaced that seal, and those are the updated seals. And we were instructed, hold on, to WD-40 this for ease of installation and make them not rusty and stick together. And truth be told, it's helped and worked perfectly. And we don't have the tool, but we use the broad end of you're kind of cockeyed.
Am I crooked? Pull
it back out and tip the shaft back up. There you go. Now you're not in the, right there, yep. There you go. Twist it a little bit and push. Okay, now that's as far as we shove it in manually, and then we take a big broad punch and just lightly tap all the way around it and push at the same time. You can buy or rent the tool. We chose not to. We are going to just take the broad end of a punch, flip it around. Hold on, Chance. If you can, I did notice this. On this punch, this end's all burred. Okay. Right there, real rough, so I might use that smoother side. That's just a observation. That's what was nicking it, I think. So we just go and tap all the way around. I'll shove in as he kind of punches on it. And it just all goes together. Kind of a sucky way to do this, but we don't have that installation tool. So I get to be in his way while he's trying to, oh, watch out, hammering on it. It goes in really smoothly and really easily. It doesn't really give us any trouble. It just kind of slides right in. It's going. And there is a vent hole up here for your 4-wheel drive. And what we've noticed every time we've done this job is there is a lip, a machined lip. I'll show it to you in a second by chance. And you push it in. For some reason, it's really in your way on the side. Seems like it wants to go in. Push on it. It seems like it wants to go in.
Does not seem like it wants to go in?
Not as easily as the other one. There it goes. Had to have a shoe.
Just use your foot.
Yeah, just use your foot. Okay?
Okay.
Longer shaft on this side by far. And we're not damaging the seal in any way. It's leaving 0 marks. It's in metal seal covered in rubber. So we're basically hitting on the outside edge of the seal. Being very careful to drive it in evenly.
They were pretty close.
There you go. No, we're still not past the seal yet, that ring.
You're right. Well, why did it feel like that then?
I had to shove it in. There you go. Let me clean it off so it's not quite so oily on you. I think it's sliding off of everything. Yeah. See that lips right there? We're almost in it. Go.
This thing, we have hammered on this so much.
Well, they're Harbor Freight, and honestly, there it goes. Now you should be almost bottomed out. There, now it sounds right. And you can hear when it bottoms out. Pay attention to what you're doing. If you have any mechanical common sense, no more here. Be careful, it's denting it right there.
Yep.
So drive it more in here. Yeah. That's why it's in a bind. Yeah, there it goes. Now it slid right in. Kind of had it cockeyed. It didn't hurt it. Just take me out, tap it a little more here, just a little bit. It feels about right all the way around. Put your nail on it, you get about the same spacing. Yeah, I think you're good.
So I just had it like a little...
Yeah, it was a little cockeyed over here on the corner, so it was tapping it in, was pushing it out here. I think it's good. Yeah, it sounds right. And you hear it's solid, it's hitting the seat. Might tap it a little more right there. That's about it. Yeah, it's in. Beautiful. If you're gentle and you take your time, you do it right.
You do it twice.
And like us, if you do it twice, you get real good at it when you do it more than once.
Okay.
Hang on, my screen's all the way back here. I can't see what I'm aiming at. There we go.
Okay, ready for the shield.
And then we gotta put the shield on now with the bearing race. Now this is your bearing housing. Sorry, Chance. And also we were told it's already pre-oiled, like a little bit of oil, but also to rub a little WD-40 down this and soak it. Kind of helps it slide in. We just spray it at the top and let it run around. Now Chance went ahead and this chamfer here on this edge, he went ahead and polished it with the wire wheel so that that new seat didn't have any trouble going in and didn't grab onto the old material that could be in there. Here, you got your sensor out. Don't forget to take that out and put your sensor back in behind the shield in front of it, because ask us how we know doing it twice. It's kind of something we've done here.
Yep.
Actually, that went in this time.
Sorta. It's gonna need sucked in again.
So that lines everything up, and then after you get the 4 bolts on the backs torqued down and your ABS speed wheel sensor put in, then you'll put your lock nut, your lock washer, I'm sorry, in it. And what we found is using, these are cobalt, I'm sure you can get it from anyone from anywhere. Hang on a second. What we found is if you'll take this and pry against the collar right there, and then against this housing, not to mess with that seal, it'll pull it out far enough in here to get that lock ring back on, or that snap ring. I keep calling it a lock ring. I mean a snap ring. Trying to find it. Snap ring. And that'll allow you to push it forward and put your snap ring back on. And again, you don't have to be crazy with this up here. It's just a wheel sensor. We put a little bit of grease around the O-ring so it would seat. All this stuff gets real dry. You know, and plus it gets all the road film and stuff. It gets thrown back here, especially if you're up north in the salt. What's crazy is we've literally just done this job twice. It's pretty sucky. Normally we don't do a job twice, but sometimes we're learning and it just goes that way, doesn't it, Chance?
Should miss one little thing.
We didn't think to look for those little seals being bad, and that's for your vacuum. It's for the vacuum on your 4-wheel drive when you do the auto lockers on the inside. It doesn't have anything to do with the manual lockers, but I'd like to be able to turn the lever when I need it, and vacuum suck the hubs in. So that's the importance of those. If you're not worried about that, you probably don't have to change those seals. There were only, I think, $68 through Ford. They were out of them in my area, so actually National seals make a exact replica of it. They're made by Dana for Ford, but the National seals were available at my local O'Reilly's in stock, so that was nice. We didn't have to chase them down. I had to go to Oklahoma City, which is about 35 miles from us, to get that big O-ring that goes around the bearing housing. Our Ford dealership here in town only had one, so I'll show the part numbers while he's tightening that up. So the national part number for that is that. Focus. It's just a national seal. And these are the O-rings. The factory ones were yellow. Oh, that one's torn. Get this one. That is the Ford number for that bearing seal O-ring. And then all that goes in for your 4-wheel drive for the vacuum side, so that you can do the auto lockers in the cab. So we'll go ahead and finish it up here. I may high-speed skim through a lot of this. You do have to use thread locker on your brake caliper bolts. for your caliper, putting your caliper bracket back on for the big bolts here. They require a thread locker, blue. Those are 10.9s, those are pretty tough. Trying to talk while Chance's ratcheting.
Let's grab a deep soak. That'll make my life a lot easier.
Hasn't been a fun job to do twice. And the sway bar links are on, they're new too, drag link, bushings, sway arm bushings. We've done as much as we can do that's necessary and required for this repair. It's been kind of a ball buster, and it's 100 here in Oklahoma today, again for the 3rd day in a row in September. And of course it would be that way when we're outside and didn't pull it in the barn. So it is what it is. This is the only concrete pad we have at the moment out here. Otherwise we gotta lay in that chalky floor all day long and it gets dust in the parts, and we're trying to avoid that. So you might just whack them all with a hammer, Chance.
I'm just trying to get them all on there finger tight and trying to get it seated.
Now we'll be back. All right, now we're going with the snap ring. Stand by. Chance's paper towels blowing everywhere. He likes to litter. He's a litter bug. There's another one over your left over there. By the way, you have like 9 clean towels, but you keep getting new ones.
I had a bunch of dirty ones because they have grease on them.
Snap ring time. I need to pry out on it.
Yep.
All right.
That's the other one.
So I just get back here. Can you pull out on it at all? Yeah, pull your hand. You just need a little room, just a ½ inch or so. No, this one ain't gonna go.
It's just a lot tighter. For sure.
There, I got it. Okay, there it went. Yep.
Nice.
So we just pry out on it like that, and Chance will slide the snap ring on your way.
Try to make sure everything's clean as much as possible.
Like it went into me.
Almost.
There's the click. All right, so that locks in.
It's got 2 galleys. Oh.
So that locks in the shaft inside the hub housing, so it keeps it at the right depth. And again, we changed the seals back here too. Those are the updated seals. We put a new gasket on this. It came with the kit.
See if I can get this one first try or not.
It is hot. Doesn't look like it.
Nope.
You had to have it auto locker on last time.
Did I?
You had it locked out.
I don't know if it affects it, because I think what we're doing is we're trying to slide it on that spline, so I don't know if that really does anything. Alright.
I don't know. That's what you did last time over here is all I'm saying.
We'll get it. Just gotta find which way it likes it.
Last time we did this and then finally it just went on.
We're gonna get this wheel on there.
You've made a full revolution already.
Try to see if there's anything different
Don't
about
see anything
this
special
fence.
about it.
Well, go on.
To edit this part out. The other one literally slid her right in, like with 0 effort.
I don't know
Pull it
what
out.
could be.
Spin the inside. Spin that inside. try it again. I don't know if that does anything. I just thought in my head.
Maybe it could be that I'm not pulling it out far enough to get, because maybe that spline's just spinning. I don't know.
Try locking it in. Like working it locked in. Well,
shucksy darn.
Oh, this is not, something's not right. This shouldn't take this many stabs.
Yeah, I don't even know. There's got to be like a special spline or something.
According to the interwebs, no. Now, I know you have to have these lined up.
So that could be what it is then. That maybe it's spinning this, so you get it on the splines. There's nothing special, and then it's like trying to spin those big splines. It's like that's what's the problem.
But you're turning this, and that's doing nothing.
How do you spin this?
Turning this does nothing. You have to turn this collar
to spin these.
Yep. You have to turn those middle rings.
See, something like that. So that's what you're saying, is trying to spin the middle spline. I think that's what our problem is, though, for sure.
So grab this collar, put it back in, grab this collar, and try to work it. Unlock the locker. Okay, now try to work that. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense at all. The other one literally just fell in the hole. We had a problem with this one last time too.
I think that's what it is, though. It's like we're on the middle spline, but the big ones we're having trouble lining up for some reason.
It's so hot. It's only 95 right here where we're sitting.
Spin it a little.
We'll be back.
I'd say what helped.
Okay, so what Chance did was spin the knuckle in the back for the four-wheel drive.
Lock
and
that in.
Locked it at the same time to make all the grooves grab.
So if you lock in the four-wheel drive while you're trying to shove it in, and
It's on right now, by
and
the
then
way.
you can spin that U-joint, and that keeps that middle piece from spinning. That's what we did today, so it'll help. Just make sure that's locked in, and try wiggling the U-joint as you're trying to put it in. And that's it. Alright,
That's a special torquing technique.
as tight as they go right there. I have a problem with breaking bolts off, so you have to be very gentle. Alright, time for rotor. Oh yeah! And this. This is my favorite part.
It's like we just did this yesterday.
Like 20 minutes ago. Oh, this will be the exact same setup as the Innerstruck, right? Four-wheel drive, 250. But
I think so. I don't remember, honestly. Mine's a 1-ton, so it has this. I don't think his has that.
you don't think it has it?
Uh-uh.
Why would
This
the
is
1-ton make a
because
difference?
this kicks the hub inside. This is a hub extension. Because my wheels are pitched in an angle, so that shoves the wheel inside, so it makes it line up with the truck itself. My rims are offset, his are not. Well, not like this. Because you can flip, you take a back one, put it on the front, it doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
Because of that pitch, the way the center of the hub is.
All right.
If you had this mounted out here, the tire would stick out here. So you have to flip the rim and the tire tucks inside.
It's confusing. Come off of there. All right, extension, where is it? Right in front of my face. I like all of it.
All right, we're tightening it down. All right, we've tightened all 8 of these bolts back up. You have to stick a socket through and a short saddle socket. You have to pull each one off and do each one. And put the brakes back on. Should be pretty straightforward. Put the 2 bolts in, Loctite them on, tighten them up, put your wheel back on. So that's it. Nothing crazy after this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.